Ladies and gentlemen, the OSU injury report is in for FC.
It's 6th versus 8th today as FC Tulsa entertains a Switchbacks side that has already beaten them on their own patch this season, and you have to go back to October 2020 for the last time FC Tulsa had success against tonight's opponents here at home. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into a very sunny and beautiful One Oakfield. Dave Saunders and former professional Anna Bergel with you, guiding you through tonight's proceedings. And Anna, it's really important that FC Tulsa take advantage of their remaining home games,
especially at this point in the season as well. Every point so crucial, and with the way FC Tulsa has been playing at home, they'll definitely want to keep this momentum and take advantage of these moments on their home field.
Now, with FC Tulsa new striker Aaron Beboot, they have somebody who can be the focal point of the attack.
They do. 19 years old, joined the club via loan from Ventura County FC, has already made such an impact for this FC Tulsa team, scoring his first USL Championship goal last time out in the 14th minute. So, Dave, he's already made such an impact for this team, going to be so important in tonight's match.
And for Colorado's Switchbacks FC Tulsa will be mindful of the attacking prowess of one Jonas Fjellberg.
Jonas Fjellberg, again, another player that has had some moments throughout the season, but really the last game out found his stride. A brace early on in what ultimately went on to be a victory against Memphis 901 FC as they currently sit 6th. And Dave, he'll be up against FC Tulsa's Beboot, as we mentioned.
Yeah, Beboot here, wonderful in his full debut to get this goal in this narrow victory at Detroit.
Yeah, ultimately went on to be the winner at Detroit FC. The points on the road, so important, and Peñaranda able to preserve those points late in this game. He has been crucial in the back for FC Tulsa, and he's going to have to be at his best again tonight.
The excitement is really building here at One Oakfield. We'll be back on the other side of the break with your starting lineups and your first half call. It is FC Tulsa versus the Switchbacks from Colorado.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
The experience to adapt, learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands because experience powers us.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place delivering lasting pain relief. By Williams, we make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino, your place to play. And by OSU Medicine, FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in, as I've already said, to a very sunny and beautiful One Oak Field. This game sponsored by the Bank of Oklahoma. We go above so you can go beyond. And my broadcast partner, Anna Bergel, will tell you about FC Tulsa's lineup, led, of course, by the aforementioned Mr. Beboot.
Yeah, FC Tulsa coming off of 3 points on the road. Alexis Sawahi, Edwin Lasso also earned USL Championship Team of the Week 25 honors, so look out for them. Beboot, obviously, we alluded to him in the pregame show, but FC Tulsa, they've had so much success at home, 6-match home undefeated streak in their last few games, so they'll want to continue that, especially heading into this back few games here of the USL Championship.
As for James Chambers and his side, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, there are starts today for Damas, Zandi and Enriquez as he shuffles the pack. Of course, they've had several games in a short space of time. You are very welcome here to One Oak Field. We're about ready for kickoff, and the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC will kick off. Let's have a look at the injury report. Brought to you by OSU Medicine. Arda Rogers close to being back, but he's still out. Angel Burnell and Camillo Ponce, none out for the visitors, who get us underway. And already Speedy Williams blasts the ball to the chest of Andrew Booth, who picks it up in the midfield. There is the lad who's been signed, Aaron Beboot, very exciting player, and excitement around these parts, I can tell you, when he signed for the club and obviously got the goal that ultimately was the game winner in Detroit. An exciting signing, Anna, and you know, when Philip Goodrum went to Lou City, coach needed someone else up there in the front line. As the ball comes into the box, there's Owen Darm, who is back in at right back. The visitors with the ball here down the left-hand side, kept in well by Aidan Rocha. Ball into the box. Brady Bourgeois misses that one just for a moment. There was a bit of excitement for Ronaldo Damas, but going back to my original point, Beboot, a very important signing for FC Tulsa.
He is, and I think around the league, a lot of people might think when Philip Goodrum headed over to Lou City that might leave a hole for FC Tulsa, and it definitely did in some capacity, but they've really stepped up. Beboot obviously adding to that attack, and as a player coming into a new squad, what an amazing debut for him to get that ultimately the game winner goal for them. And so FC Tulsa trying to find their stride. They've done really well these last few games and have put themselves in a position to reach their goal of meeting the playoffs, currently sitting in 8th, so they'll want to continue to climb and give themselves a bit of insurance there, but head coach Mario Sanchez has to be pleased with the recent performance.
The ball is booted out by Bradley Bushra. Let's have a look at the keys to the game.
And we noted that with Mario Sanchez coming in, obviously pleased with the performance, but wanting to come in aggressive, wanting to stay disciplined.
There's the ball into the ball. Real chance here, and it's been looped into the goal. It's a goal early here for Jairo Enriquez. Peñaranda got a hand on it, and Jairo Enriquez, with only one goal before tonight, gets his second, and with just 2 minutes gone, it is FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 1.
Head coach James Chambers for the opposition coming in, wanting to get on the front foot early, and they did exactly that. Great work around the outside, off of the throw-in, able to find something around this corner, and FC Tulsa defensively just not able to snuff this out, and then ultimately a good finish. Difficult for Peñaranda to get back in his goal on time, and FC Tulsa finds himself down early. And as that play was developing, we were talking about how important it was coming into this match for FC Tulsa to stay disciplined defensively in their block, and unfortunately there, a bit of untidiness at the back and some quality on the other end led to an FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC with the first goal here.
Yeah, very early, and Jairo Enriquez, the El Salvadorian captain for his national side, scores his second of the season for his club side. Here's Booth. FC Tulsa will have to respond here in those patina green shirts, playing from left to right on your screens. White socks and white shorts. Here's Sawahi, who made the Week 25 Team of the Week. Ball into the box, and that's easy for the man in all red tonight. Is Christian Herrera, the 27-year-old who's in his 25th start of the season. 69 saves before tonight's game begins. Two fantastic goalkeepers on display tonight. Peñaranda in the FC Tulsa goal, and all he could do was to palm that one out. And you have to say that Jairo Henriquez was in the right place at the right time.
He was in Peñaranda. That's what you want to see. He anticipated that cross well, but just not able to get it far enough. But really leading up to that play, FC Tulsa, from a defensive standpoint, just allowing to get around the outside. And early in this game, you want to come in, settle in, not give up anything early. And now they put themselves in a position to really have to chase this game.
Of course, this was the final score back on July the 4th in Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC's Widener Field. 1-0 it was, a late goal that day. Here a very early goal, and FC Tulsa now defending with everybody back. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC in their familiar black and blue shirts, black and blue shorts and black socks. Here at One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa. You're welcome in, whoever you support tonight, here on ESPN Plus and Your View. Here's the ball driven low into the box. It's away by Pacheco, who gets a foot on the ball, and that will go all the way through to Christian Herrera here. As I said, all in red tonight. Right-footed ball down that right side. It's a chase here for Speedy Williams, the 30-year-old Jamaican. Keeps it in, and Segrist clears it away. And that will be a throw-in right in front of FC Tulsa's coach, Mario Sanchez. There he is. Always keeps positive, and really, Anna will talk about Mario Sanchez a lot, but he's really turned things around, and he's brought in different players, his players, and now has a really strong squad, and they're playing the coach's way now, aren't they?
They are, and I think it speaks volumes too, because the players reacted to him in such a positive way. They want to play for him. They believe in the systems that he's brought in and the players that he's brought in, and they welcome that, and it shows in their results. And obviously the start to this game, not what they'd hoped, but putting themselves in a position where they can still reach their goals after a tough start.
Here's Owen Downs, ball into the box. There's a very, very good header away by the experienced Matt Mahoney, and if he hadn't have got that header, there would have been a free header on goal for FC Tulsa.
Get another look here at that last play. Great ball out wide initially, and then excellent header to time that, as FC Tulsa had players on the back post, but ultimately leading to a good opportunity here off of the corner.
Katrina Freshmack's corner kick for FC Tulsa, the home side, looking to get back on level terms. Everybody back for the Switchbacks here. Left-footed ball in from Pacheco, headed back into the area. There's an overhead kick from Bradley Bourgeois. That would have been spectacular, but it goes a couple of yards over, and it's a goal kick. And there's the away coach, James Chambers, a 37-year-old, born in Dublin, Ireland. He finished playing for Bethlehem Steel in 2017. 3 seasons as the assistant at Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Was made permanent this year on January the 5th. Played for several teams in England and Ireland in his playing career. Now in a bit of space, here's Stojanovic. Then he gets shut down pretty easily, and Zandi comes away with the ball. Rocha in that central midfield, just opening things up, playing into the back four. FC Tulsa and their opponents tonight both playing with back fours. Out wide on this left-hand side is Hanya. Hanya will try a shot, hits Bradley Bourgeois. Williams picked it up in the midfield, wearing 80. Zandi, Williams again. Zandi going back here to Pierre. Zach Zandi, who didn't start the last game, but coach James Chambers at Abergel able to bring in 3 very attacking players, and you know they've had some games in a few days, and it's great for him to be able to mix things around a little bit.
Yeah, especially at this point in the season too, you know, wanting to manage players' minutes and manage their legs, but when you have players that can rotate like Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC have, it just adds that depth and it adds another dimension to this game, and it definitely brings a new dynamic as well with a midweek game, and you're going up against FC Tulsa, who didn't have that. They had a week rest, so they'll come into this game a bit fresher. Obviously, so far the Switchbacks on the front foot with the goal early, but something that head coach Chambers was mindful of.
Ball goes all the way through to Christian Herrera. Guerrera signs are industrial leaders in visa processing for professional athletes. They work hard off the field for the players to succeed on it. Reach out today for your organization's consultation. 1-0 then. The goal timed at 2 minutes. Scored by Jairo Enriquez, the 31-year-old from El Salvador. In the right place at the right time after very good work, by the way, by the aforementioned Zachary Zandi in his 17th start, for the Switchbacks. Real playing at left back, wearing 6, goes back to Delence Pierre. FC Tulsa and pretty much playing a straightforward 4-4-2 tonight.
Yeah, as you mentioned, both teams with the back 4, but FC Tulsa wanting to really put their forwards in a position to get higher up on the field. They typically will have kind of that block defensively as they are on the attack here. B-boot. Ball into the area, nearly fell to Pacheco, but the Switchbacks defence tidied that one up pretty well. It's a clash in the midfield. Pacheco now finds Booth. Booth, who was signed mid-season from Miami. Is Boubacar Diallo battling away from on the ground. Zandi takes over, up to Demus. Hanya. Zandi across goal. This time Bradley Bourgeois in the right place, and the referee looks at his linesman and says that it's going to be a throw-in. Good work again by the Switchbacks. It is, and a really good overlapping run. You'll see it late here from Zandi on the outside, bringing another look to that attack. FC Tulsa did well there to clear initially, but will have to defend this throw-in as the opportunity that led to the last goal came off of a quick throw and turn around the corner.
Ball is headed out by Segras. Back in towards goal, and had Peñaranda scurrying away. Guerra signs immigration attorneys are industry leaders in visa processing for professional athletes. They work hard off the field for the players to succeed on it. Reach out today for your organization's consultation. Peñaranda with the goal kick. Peñaranda, who made, as we showed you in our film at the beginning of this broadcast, a fantastic save at the end of the Detroit game. And Anna, I joked with you, I mean that was we'll just come back to Anna in a minute, because here's Stojanovic, who just doesn't get control of the football, and it's away by Pierre. But congratulations to Jake Maguire, who, by the way, playing his trade for North Carolina FC, was playing just up the road in the University of Tulsa for his college ball. But congratulations to him for getting the save of the week, as we've got a player down. But boy, that was a hard save to not win that save of the week. Just have a look here. I think it was a flailing arm. There was nothing malicious there at all. Just a flick of the arm there, I think. And not sure there's too much in that, and thankfully Hanya is okay. But just going back to that save, how he twisted his body and made that save is beyond me.
And what's crazy is Peñaranda really has made multiple saves like that throughout the season. He has done so well for FC Tulsa since joining, and .73 goals against average for FC Tulsa. He's just come in and really led this back line. And, you know, goals are so important in those games. And in that Detroit City FC game, obviously the game winner, super important from B-Boot, but equally as important, that last-minute save from him to preserve those points.
What a run this is down the right-hand side. Flew past Patrick Segrist. There's a left-footed ball into the box. There's a header down from Damas, and it is away. And it was Duke Lacroix who made that run up from right back. And at the moment, Anna, you'd say that FC Tulsa have got their work cut out down both flanks, because both Segrist and Owen Darm, as the ball's belted forward, have had, you know, players running at them in this first, 14 minutes.
We've alluded to this a few times throughout the season. It just depends tactically how both teams come out. But when you have those kind of wing backs and outside mids that like to get forward early in the game, you really want to establish yourself as that player from an attacking perspective, because you want that opposition, that player, to be looking over their shoulder, wanting to defend instead of going into the attack. And when you're able to establish that early, it forces more of that defensive mindset in a player that really would like to get forward more. And so that's something that the Switchbacks have done really well so far early in this game, and FC Tulsa having to be a bit more defensive minded in those areas.
Here's Bibu, finds Boubacar Diallo. Owen Darm's gone on the overlap from right back. Diallo just takes a little bit of time out of the game. Finds Lasso to Segrist. Pacheco goes from out to in, now receives it again near the touchline. Eludes one challenge. Lasso into the box as a header back, and it's going to go all the way through to the keeper, Christian Herrera, who himself will make Bibu come and pick that one up. It's been an incredible season for the Switchbacks FC, Anna. They lost their first 5 games on the bounce, and then finally got a 1-1 draw at home to Indy 11, and promptly went on a 9-game unbeaten run, including 5 straight wins, and including wins at Oakland Roots and Hartford Athletic, which to this date are the only 2 away wins. So, you know, talk about, you know, turning things around. 5 defeats and then a 9-game unbeaten run as FC Tulsa are on the attack here. Andrew Booth. Lasso now to Segrist, but quite some season for our visitors tonight.
It is, and the Switchbacks really trying to secure that home playoff game as well, because in those standings the top 8 go into the playoffs, but then the top 4 will have a home game during the playoff season. So that's something the Switchbacks are trying to achieve, and really impressive what they've done so far this season.
Here's Owen Darm. Could try one, hits the defender. Darm up from right back there, did well. Lasso, Pacheco in some space. Pacheco up against Duke Lacroix, goes round it. Pacheco to the byline, back into the area, and Mahoney comes away with the ball. Danger averted, and it remains 1-0. We're in the 17th minute here at a very sunny downtown Tulsa, One Oak Field to be precise, as the Switchbacks want more. Soki Anya. Here's a shot which is going to be wide from Jairo Enriquez, the goal scorer. It's a good game, Anna, both sides trying to attack, but ultimately you'd say, if you were scoring it on points, you know, obviously with the goal as well, the visitors are winning this game of football at the moment.
They have, and they've created more chances as well on the flanks with good delivery into the box. But something, you know, to note, FC Tulsa, since going down a goal, they've done a decent job. Their reaction has been good. They've started to have more of the ball in the attacking third, but just haven't really had as many clean-cut chances. We've seen the ball get out wide a few times, Pacheco finding himself 1v1, but ultimately that final pass has been lacking for FC Tulsa. So that's something that they'll want to continue to try to do more of, get more numbers into the attack. And with the dynamic of this game, after going down a goal fairly early, something that they'll just have to accept and have to take some more risks, throw another man into the attack and try to get something going here, because the Switchbacks started off very strong, obviously a goal as a result, and will definitely want to continue the tally. And
continue their good form, because FC Tulsa are unbeaten in their last, they lost, of course, to Memphis. Before that, they're unbeaten in 6. Let's just have another look here to see Speedy Williams getting the head injury here. I think it was Aaron Beboot there who just caught him inadvertently with a flailing arm. But FC Tulsa have only lost twice in their last 12, of course, going back to when they lost to the current visitors, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, in that 1-0 game. Since then, a 0-0 at Monterey Bay. Who can forget Peñaranda's last-minute penalty save to keep that one at 0-0. Then they beat Memphis at home by a goal to 0. Indy 11, a 0-0 draw. Then they went to San Antonio, won 3-1. Then a couple of other draws. Then the loss at Memphis, which was probably one game too many in a pretty tiring away excursion, before winning that game narrowly at Detroit. So all to play for. Both of these teams here looking to be in the playoffs, and the more likely team to get into the top 4 maybe for a home playoff, although FC Tulsa would argue this one, would be Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, who really have hit some form, beating Memphis by 3-1. Before that, they did go down in that local derby to New Mexico by a 0-0. Delighted to be joined, as always, on the home broadcast by an FC Tulsa player not involved in tonight's match. And tonight it is Harvey Sinclair. Harvey, good evening to you, sir.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. Obviously, you know, FC Tulsa having to pick themselves up. Always disappointing when you concede an early goal.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in the past, though, we've gone down in games, and we've showed really good character and really good personality, and we've come back and won. So I'm not too worried at the moment. There's still a lot of time in the game, and we've got more than enough on the pitch to win this game and turn it around.
Harvey, throughout the season, we've had some, new players, some roster changes. Talk about what Aaron Beboot brings to this team. Obviously, scoring the goal last time out, but just in the locker room and in practice, what have you seen from him?
Yeah, no, he's a really nice lad. He's still very young, but as we all saw last week at Detroit, his physicality, his hold-up play is very good. He's tidy on the ball, and he wants to work every day in training, and I think he's a really good. He gives us something different up there. And he's been a great addition. He's been a great addition to the squad.
Just over your shoulder there, Harvey, we're looking at a challenge from the left back, Matthew Real, who picks up a yellow card, his 4th yellow card of the season for an untidy challenge on Owen Darm. FC Tulsa have a free kick here with Andrew Booth here to Bradley Bouchois. Bouchois forward to Beboot. Andrew Booth clips the ball to the right-hand side. It's just going to go past Owen Darm. Harvey, tell us about your first season here in Tulsa. First of all, what do you think of Tulsa, and also what do you think of FC Tulsa and the lads and the coach?
No, I think it was I didn't think the transition would be as easy as it was. Obviously, there's no language barrier here, so that makes it a lot more easier. The weather, as we can see today, is super hot, which is good for me. I'm not used to the weather like this, as you'd know in England. But no, it's been great. The coach has been great. All the players have been really welcoming, and everyone seems to be pulling in the right direction. And we're definitely moving forward.
Is there a goal that coach sets you? Is the goal to be in that top 8, or do you aim even higher and say we want a home playoff game?
Yeah, no, 100%. He always bangs on about playoffs, and I think that's really good that he reminds us often. But I think for myself and the team, we just take it one game at a time, one training session at a time, and try and pick up as many points as possible and try and win every game that we go into. I think like recently as well now, even if we draw games, we're really disappointed. It feels like a loss. So we're going into every game wanting to win, and the end goal is playoffs, definitely.
Harvey, I've got to ask you, your mother's Scottish, is that correct?
Yeah, she was born in Edinburgh, but she grew up in England. But yeah, she's got Scottish blood.
So is there a bit of rivalry when England take on the old firm then?
Not really, to be honest, but when that game goes on, I think whoever wins a draw is a good result for us, the household, let's say.
And just tell us about your career. You were at Chelsea at the Academy. What brought you over to the States? Was it to play football?
Yeah, it was there was an opportunity that came up in January-ish, and it was. I always thought I'd come to America at some point in my life, so I'm really happy to come here and play football, which I love doing, and experiencing the whole America experience. But no, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Wonderful. Well, Harvey Sinclair, we thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you back in an FC Tulsa shirt very soon. Enjoy the rest of the game, sir.
Thank you very much. Cheers, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Here's Andrew Booth. Just so everybody is aware, England and Scotland have a slight rivalry, Anna Bogle, and when they play each other, we call it a rivalry match. And the goalkeeper does well there, Herrera, and Harvey Sinclair's mother from Scotland. But as you could tell from his accent, he's spent most of his time in England. But clearly, Anna, enjoying his time here at FC Tulsa.
I think that's been a theme. We've had the privilege of interviewing multiple players throughout the season, and the consistent response is they enjoy being in Tulsa. They've enjoyed the leadership of FC Tulsa. They've enjoyed playing for head coach Mario Sanchez and have bought into what this program is about and wanting to kind of take this group to the next level. And you heard when you asked him what the goals were, they want to aim high, they want to aim higher, they believe in what they have on and off the field, and hopefully over time the results will continue to show that, and they've put themselves in a position, as we've talked about throughout this match, to continue to achieve those goals.
As the world demands low-cost, low-carbon energy, Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 1-0. As Owen Darm scurries down that right-hand side, easily cut out by Pierre to Real, up to Hanya. Quality in this Colorado swings Switchbacks FC side. Lacroix. Enriquez, the goal scorer, involved there. It's a pullback, and I think Lasso, lucky there, he didn't get a yellow card. Edwin Lasso has not had a yellow card in the last 3 games, Anna Burgle, and so he gets the good boy present. And here, got to be careful. I think probably the referee, Mr. Garcia, said the foul had already been committed. Give him the benefit, but you've got to be careful.
We've definitely seen them called before. And FC Tulsa trying to regain possession here, as the Switchbacks have done a really good job just continuing to create opportunities going forward.
I think James Chambers made that point to the 4th official. Here's the ball into the box. Damas was there, but so was Sawahi. That's a good physical battle, one to keep an eye on. When we were interviewing Harvey Sinclair, they had a little tete-a-tete down by the advertising hoardings. Here's Peñaranda. Peñaranda, who has 6 clean sheets in his 11 games. Obviously won't get one today. There's Bradley Bouchois. Gets bumped off. Damas doesn't get the ball into Zandi. Bradley Bouchois was bumped off, but he did just about enough, I think. Lasso to Sawahi. Sawahi, who made the team of the week with Lasso for that defensive performance at Detroit. And Anna, I was talking to you off air about this man Sawahi on the ball now, the Frenchman. When he was not in the side, FC Tulsa probably conceded their most goals, the 5-0 at Tampa Bay, etc. He has just been rock solid at the back for FC Tulsa alongside Bradley Bouchois.
He has, and definitely one of those players where when he was not on the field, that hole was felt. And really just the leadership that he brings as well, and the consistency now since he's been on the field, just collectively as a whole, Peñaranda, Swahi, Bourgeois, the collective back line has done so much better as of late for FC Tulsa. We'll get a quick look here at the foul called on Owen Dom. But Sawahi, again, he's starting to get some, recognition throughout the league and just continues to do so. But ultimately, he's one of those players too. When talking to players from FC Tulsa, he's a strong leader. He does such a great job leading vocally and just through his effort on the field.
Sandy can't get control of the football, but Andrew Booth did for just a moment. But Reale's already gone into the referee's notebook, comes away with the ball for the visitors. Sandy again. Back into the midfield to Aidan Rocha in his 20th start of the season. Speedy Williams, those two controlling the midfield for the Switchbacks. Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field, Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa. 29th minute here at One Oak Field, 1-0. The goal on 2 minutes, the second of the season for Jairo Henriquez. Offside. FC Tulsa will have a free kick, and Anna, 16 minutes to go to half-time. They would dearly love to go in at least level as they walk down the tunnel to the locker rooms.
FC Tulsa, obviously not an ideal start coming in, going down early defensively. They've been disciplined. We were just talking about how that back line has really been consistent for them. Had a bit of a breakdown there, but just some quality soccer from the Switchbacks, ultimately leading to that first goal. But the response has been better from FC Tulsa. They'll want to get a quick equalizer and get themselves in a position to come out in the second half and go after the 3 points, because we've talked about this time and time again throughout the season when these moments arise. But the next goal here is so crucial because the Switchbacks, if they're able to further extend that lead, it just makes it that much tougher, and then the game really starts to open up. So FC Tulsa wanting to keep possession, wanting to get numbers going forward, and definitely want to be the next on that score sheet.
The numbers for the Switchbacks, the overall record: they've won 10, lost 10 and drawn 5, played 25 and scored 35 points. Currently sitting 6th in the Western Conference. They've scored 34 now, conceded 31, and a win tonight and they could go above Las Vegas Lights into 5th on goal difference. Remember, this is the only game in the USL Championship being played at this very moment. Here's Andrew Booth. Boubacar Diallo clips the ball over the top, won't find Stojanovic or Pacheco. The away record for the Switchbacks is those 2 wins, consecutive wins, 2-0 to Oakland and Hartford. They lost their first 3 games away. They've had 3 draws, a 1-1, a 2-1 and a 3-1 at Vegas, Pittsburgh and Memphis. So it's been more difficult away from Widener Field for tonight's visitors, and they'll be buoyed by this start and the game being broken up with fouls. And we're going to have our first hydration break, and Anna, we can sort of summarise so far. As I said earlier on the commentary, the more flowing play, shall we say, has come from the visitors.
Right, and you can tell that they're playing with a bit more confidence as well. The last time out, their midweek game, scoring 2 quick goals early on, and continuing that here again at FC Tulsa with the strong start, coming out on the front foot, trying to have that tempo and just taking advantage of their options and opportunities in front of goal, because really they've had the better opportunities, but only 2 shots on goal for the Switchbacks. FC Tulsa still have yet to have a shot on frame so far in this first half, so that's something they'll want to change. But we'll get a quick look here at how that first goal developed for the Switchbacks. Great job off the throw-in, and then Zandy on that left side did an excellent job work to get around the corner, and FC Tulsa defensively there just doesn't do enough. And then the great shot at the end, Peñaranda initially punching this one away, but just not able to clear it far enough. Right place, right time, and the Switchbacks getting on the score sheet first early on here at One Oak Field.
Yeah, it's interesting, Ali. You've played the game at a professional level. Sometimes when you don't have a clean hit of the ball, it often finds its way into the back of the net, doesn't it? And Rakers there, he hit it down. It was similar to Biebert's goal at Detroit, wasn't it?
It was similar, and you saw the body movement, and you make a good point, just wanting to get over it and give yourself a chance to put that on frame, because you never know what might happen. Peñaranda not able to get himself back in frame, and the Switchbacks with a great start here at One Oak Field and have ultimately been able to hold on to this lead here throughout the first half. But FC Tulsa still with some work to do, but the players to do it, and the FC Tulsa fans have come out here. Early evening game. Kickoff started at 5. It's been really, really hot, but the fans have come out in full force as they have all season.
I think it's a Liverpool shirt there. He'll be pleased with today's results. If you haven't heard, they beat Manchester United by 3-0. First Sunday game, FC Tulsa are trying of the season, and it does allow a few younger fans to come out, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. It is pretty hot, and you have to find any head cover you can in heats that are certainly feeling like the mid-90s and can't be the most comfortable to play in. FC Tulsa will have a short week. They go to Phoenix Rising FC on Friday, and we can tell you that USL Championship soccer does continue on the ESPN networks in September with a Western Conference matchup of teams fighting to stay in those playoff positions. Last season's champion Phoenix Rising FC will host FC Tulsa Friday, September the 6th at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN 2. Rocha. Pierre to Real. Real just about finds Rocha, who's a tidy midfield player, just locks down that midfield. Here's Matt Mahoney. Mahoney is top in the USL for passes with 1,584 plus now, of course, because he's got these in this game. It's pretty awesome, and to me, Anna, it's a way that the game has changed over the years, that you've now got centre backs, where we know a lot of play comes through the centre backs, who are topping those charts. Now, Darbossier here is offside, but it's the modern game, isn't it? A lot played out from the back, and there's Matt Mahoney leading the whole league in successful passes.
Yeah, it says a lot, and especially when you have a player like him that can build from the back and give yourself an opportunity to keep possession and not just always go direct, but he's able to do the defensive work, get his head up, and then pick out those next passes and help keep possession. And across the USL Championship, we've seen more and more of that. And when you have players that can do that, it just creates a different dynamic going into the attack, whether that's driving centrally and forcing one of those center mids to come to you and leaving an open man, or finding that next pass that can beat a midfield. So having those players on your roster is so important.
Pacheco got round one, but he couldn't get round Lacroix, who tidies up for the Switchbacks. Neat play, finds Zandi. It was a late challenge from Seagrass. Referee might come back to that. Here's Damas round the keeper. Damas is going to make it too. That is a wonderful finish. He drew Peñaranda out of his goal, took him out of the picture, and a quality finish just inside the right-hand post. 37th minute here, and it is FC Tulsa 0, the Switchbacks 2.
Great work from the Switchbacks. They'll be pleased here to extend their lead, almost heading into halftime. But Damas, to keep his composure here, Peñaranda coming out with force, trying to really narrow his angle and make it difficult, but has a great first touch there around Peñaranda, and then that's not an easy finish. Has an odd angle, has to put that back on frame with defenders. Really clinical finish. Here's another look. Tucks it just inside the far post. It's enough here for the Switchbacks to double their lead.
Tell you what a ball from Zachary Zandi. That was knife through butter, it really was. And Damas did the rest, and his 11th goal of the season, by the way. There's only 7 players in double figures in the league. He goes to 11, the Haitian. Here's Lasso. FC Tulsa with a bit of a mountain to climb. Now, the bench from the Switchbacks are not happy with what they think is an elbow from Lasso. Left a player down. I think it's Zandy. Let's have a look at this, Anna, and see what they might have been upset about.
There have been a few tough challenges early on in this game. I don't know if that warranted quite the reaction both players going for. There might have been an initial extension of the arm from Lasso. Either way, good to see Zandy up after that last play.
Yeah, he's okay. As we tell you that Oklahoma State University Medicine is FC Tulsa's official sports medicine partner. Matt Mahoney with the free kick for his side, who lead this one by 2-0. And here they come again. They want 3. And they want a throw in on that far side. And it's going to be taken by the right back, Duke Lacroix, in his 21st start of the season. Former Indy 11 and Sac Republic player. Was born in the USA but of Haitian descent, and he was called up for Haiti for a set of CONCACAF matches in September 2023. Good player, good right back. So plenty of experience in the Switchback side, including international experience, which we've talked about on many a broadcast, saying, you know, what that brings back to your club when you go and represent your country.
Definitely, and it obviously, you know, brings some notoriety and just how proud you must feel as an individual.
Stojanovic here with a chance in there. There's good defending from Pierre, and in the end it was a tug of the shirt. That's quality defending, because the defender Pierre there was actually the wrong side as the ball went over the top.
Yeah, it really was. Great reaction initially as FC Tulsa still trying to find that first shot on goal. We'll get another look here on the replay. Nice ball up over the top. Pierre found himself, you're right, on the wrong side. And then Stojanovic trying to force his way in, but just not able to get on the end of that. Excellent defending.
Christian Herrera trying to keep his 8th clean sheet of the season. Zandy's in there again. Chance of a third here. Here's Hanya. Good block in the end from Owen Dahm. And just at the moment, it's a little bit ragged defensively for FC Tulsa.
It is, in trying to clear that ball out quickly as well. So crucial here, especially when you're down 2 goals, and Zandy does such a good job to stay with it. Try to keep this ball in the attacking third. It's exactly what you want to see, trying to stick with the play. And then ultimately coming back, Owen Dahm able to recover there. But a corner kick opportunity upcoming for the Switchbacks, and FC Tulsa needing to stay disciplined here defensively and not give up a third.
Ada Rocha, Katrina Freshmet's corner into the danger area. Bibic's back there to head away. Pierre up there from centre back. In goes Pacheco. Clears it away over the top of the waiting subs for FC Tulsa. 4 minutes to go till half time. Throw in to be taken again by Duke Lacroix. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favourite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Another Katrina Freshmet's corner kick here for the Switchbacks, who would dearly love a third to go down into the locker room with daylight between the two teams. As we know, the most dangerous score is 2-0 in a game of football. 3 just gives it much more daylight between the two teams. Aidan Rocha, who had a season at Loudoun United, will now place this corner carefully. There's a little bit of a talking to Henriquez and Stojanovic. Stojanovic trying to protect his goalkeeper. Here's the corner from the right-hand side, the arms widely splayed, near post, headed away by Lasso. Referee said there was a foul, and it will be a free kick, which will be taken by Peñaranda, and FC Tulsa defended that pretty well.
They did, and Peñaranda, as you saw, having trouble getting free, but FC Tulsa defenders holding their ground, making sure not to give up any extra space there in the box, as FC Tulsa trying to get numbers back going forward here, but ultimately giving the ball away, and the Switchbacks have regained possession.
Hanya, very lively, to play for his country, Japan, at under 16 and under 19 level. Long ball, looking for Damas. He goes to ground. 11 goals for him, getting that second goal for his team. There's Owen Dam trying to thread it through, and that's been a story of the first half for FC Tulsa. That final ball is just not finding anybody up front.
No, and really as well from an FC Tulsa perspective, the forwards, they're trying to make the diagonal runs, but sometimes the runs can be a bit too straight, and those passes going into the attacking third are also just too straight, and they haven't given FC Tulsa the opportunity to hold up play, to be running at defenders. I think there's been a handful of times where we've seen FC Tulsa players face up 1v1 with the Switchbacks defenders, and that's something that if you're FC Tulsa, they have so much success when they get players out wide, when they have the crisscrossing runs and the creativity going forward, and we just haven't seen that from them here in this first half.
Ball is out for a throw-in. The score did finish 2-0 to the Switchbacks the last time these two met here, actually, at One Oak Field. That was back in April of 2023. As I said in the Open, 2020, October, it was 2-0 to FC Tulsa. Goals from Da Costa, who's now at North Carolina, and Marlone, who is at Memphis. Here's Andrew Booth. Bradley Bourgeois. Booth again inside the centre circle. Finds Lasso. Lasso round two. Can't go round the third. Great run from Lacroix into the area here. Could it be a third? It is a third. And Duke Lacroix has scored an outstanding goal. He sprinted down the right-hand side. Nobody went to shut him down. He put it onto his left foot and curled it into the back of the net. And in injury time, it is FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 3.
Lacroix here with the change of pace. FC Tulsa's defenders did not step to him, and he took full advantage. And you saw Delmas there trying to pull his run back to give an option. And Lacroix said, why not me? Picked his head up, saw there were a few options, and then an excellent finish. That's a really, really tough angle, especially around Peñaranda, able to curl that into the far post. And what a great run from him. The energy he brought to that right side just continued all the way in, finished it off with a clinical finish.
His first of the season. Murmurs in the crowd. A, because it was a very fine goal, and B, FC Tulsa with a mountain to climb. Here's Andrew Booth trying to get back on level terms. Well, certainly, I say level terms, get back a goal before they go down the locker room. We're playing Tulsa Tech stoppage time, 4 minutes to be played. We've already played 1.5 of those. FC Tulsa have had some 3-3 draws, memorably home here against Phoenix Rising. I hasten to add they weren't 3 down, and then just a couple of games ago at New Mexico, when they themselves, Anna, from memory, were 3-0 up, and it was a great comeback from New Mexico to force a 3-3 draw. Diallo quickly takes the throw-in, gets it back from Andrew Booth. Diallo again shut down. That seems to be the theme. FC Tulsa just can't get it forward and in behind the back line, and that's been the difference, quite frankly. FC Tulsa's back line unusually has been beaten by the speed of the players, quite frankly.
They have. They've been so consistent and have done a really good job breaking up play against their opposition, but tonight haven't been as clean, and really have to credit the Switchbacks coming in, scored some quality goals, and just the energy that they've brought to the attack as well. FC Tulsa just really hasn't appeared that they have something to deal with that. You have to have players pressing and providing that initial pressure, and they haven't been able to do that. And the Switchbacks obviously able to take advantage and put 3 in the back of the net, and the FC Tulsa home team just has yet to find a response.
3-0 the score. You have to go back to the 18th of June for a 3-3 draw at Las Vegas Lights for the Switchbacks. The last time they scored 3 goals. Good tackle from Bradley Bourgeois. Not forgetting that this is a really important game, 8th v 6th. So FC Tulsa desperate to get something out of today's game before they get on the plane and go to Phoenix again. We've already told you can see on ESPN2 on Friday night. After that, they have 2 home games against Las Vegas Lights and Lou City FC. Mr. Garcia brings the first half proceedings to an end, and Anna, difficult to sum that one up, but a lot for FC Tulsa, shall we say, to improve in the second half.
Heading into the locker room, FC Tulsa, you cannot change the first half. Have to look ahead, try to get that next goal, and just focus on what you can control in pockets of this game. Come out fresh in the second half. The Switchbacks have done a great job coming into One Oak Field. The early goal, changing the dynamic of this game, and they've done an outstanding job being efficient in front of goal as well. 4 shots on goal, 3 of those found themselves in the back of the net. That's a great ratio, and head coach James Chambers will definitely be pleased with the performance.
Yeah, a lot for them to do in the second half. 3 first half goals from Henriquez, and then Damas, and then a quality goal from Duke Lacroix. There is the coach, Mario Sanchez, who will have a lot to say in the locker room, and he is going to briefly speak to us now before he goes into the locker room. Coach Sanchez, thank you for joining us. Your thoughts on that first half?
Obviously extremely poor in every facet, really disappointing.
Well, Coach, we'll let you get down and talk to the players. You must have a lot to say to them. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, there we are. Not so many words from the coach, and Anna, just before we go to break, you can understand that.
That's what you would expect from a head coach coming in. The players know that it wasn't a good first half. Poor performance, he said, defensively, unlike this FC Tulsa defense that we've seen throughout the season, and offensively lacking as well. So things will need to change here in the second half.
Lots to get through the Williams halftime show. Alas, a poor first half. If you're an FC Tulsa fan, you must be elated if you support the Switchbacks. It is FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 3.
When I come home, it's like I feel like I'm in my dream home. I've been doing a little research on HELOCs, and I went to Oklahoma Central Credit Union. They were wonderful. We've added pretty much a new addition to our house. We didn't even have to pay the closing cost. They paid it for us. So I've been with Oklahoma Central for quite a while. I'm not going anywhere else.
What would you do if you only had one life to live? Well, that's kind of how this whole thing works. So bite off more than you can chew. Don't wait for someone else's green light. Go after what they say you can't. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Get skilled, get paid. Tulsa Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Hi, I'm Bill Knight for Bill Knight Ford. When you buy a vehicle from us, your transaction doesn't end when you drive off the lot. That's because all vehicle purchases come backed by the Knight Advantage. This includes a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles, a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty on all used vehicles, and a low price guarantee. These exclusive offers help make your car buying experience easier and more affordable. And that's why we're Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer, Bill Knight Ford, home of the Knight Advantage.
I couldn't lay down, I couldn't stand up.
My shoulder blade and the muscles between the shoulder blades.
Bent over, couldn't stand up straight.
The pain just got progressively worse. Turns out that I had scoliosis.
When I walked into Tulsa Spine and Rehab for the first time, I definitely felt very welcomed.
Dr. Riley, I just made an automatic connection.
He's going to take care of you and your needs and get you going.
I walked out of here and I didn't have a crick in my neck anymore.
There is truly here the desire to help people get better.
Goals in the second, 37th and 46th minute for the Switchbacks here gives us a half-time score of FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 3. Much more to get through in the Williams half-time show.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of the movement, and this is our moment.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The numbers are brilliant here for Phoenix. Can they find their second right there? Drops it to Lasso. Lasso gives it a go. What is the Lasso?
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix.
Wonderful first half if you are the Switchbacks fans tuning into this broadcast as we have a look at the standings. And the good news for the Switchbacks is that they actually will move up to 5th if this game stays as it is. In other words, they get 3 points on goal difference, Anna. The good news for FC Tulsa is that they cannot be ousted out of the top 8 playoff places regardless of the score tonight.
Right, and reminder for those watching, the top 4 teams will host a playoff game, so that's definitely something that the Switchbacks are aspiring to do this season and continuing to inch closer and closer to that. But something about the Western Conference to keep an eye out, obviously kind of here in the back half of the USL Championship season, but if you look at the points, there's kind of some congestion here in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of room left. If a team finds their form or gets a few wins here, it can change the dynamic of this game. So important. FC Tulsa obviously wanting to stay in the top 8, but you really can't count out really even San Antonio FC or El Paso at this time, because those teams, if they get on a tear and find those 3 points on a consistent basis, there's still some room left here for some movement in the Western Conference.
Certainly is, and this is the only game being played today in the USL Championship. But let's have a look back at some of these scores that happened, and there were some significant scores actually, because you saw Monterey Bay there were just below FC Tulsa, and FC Tulsa were helped out with Miami winning that one by a goal to nil. Miami's first win in a very long time. There was a win for Phoenix, FC Tulsa's next opponents at Loudoun. And what about that 10-goal thriller? North Carolina 4, Lou City FC, who score goals for fun, 6. And then Rhode Island with an important win over Birmingham Legion, and also a creditable point there for San Antonio, who are next to the bottom with El Paso, Anna, but still in with a shout. And Orange County 2, Las Vegas Lights 3. That's a good fight there between Vegas and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. But that result for San Antonio means they're still in with a shout. There's lots of movement, as you've just alluded to.
There really is a lot of quality results, as you can see here, and will continue into the weekend and week for the USL Championship. A lot of movement left, an exciting performance so far from all of these teams in the USL Championship, as it always is every season.
Now let's have a look at some news and notes from around the league. And the Charleston Battery's Nick Markanik is only 1 goal away from tying the single season league record of 25 goals after recording a hat-trick against Orange County SC to earn Player of the Week honours. His season just goes from strength to strength. Indy 11 fell 2-0 on the road against MLS side Sporting KC on Tuesday night in the US Open Cup semi-finals, which the club reached for the first time in its history. And also Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC head coach Bob Lilly reached a landmark 400 wins over his career after the club's 3-0 victory over Birmingham Legion FC. Well, we'll take it to break now, but if you're a Switchbacks fan and you want to see those goals again, stay tuned. We've got the first half highlights coming right up after this break.
Some journeys started years ago. Some are just hitting their stride, and others are just beginning. The journeys you cherish, the journeys you champion, the journeys you fight for, the journeys that matter. Through life's journeys, we can help. Bank of Oklahoma. We go above so you can go beyond.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
Today's match is brought to you by Williams. We make clean energy happen. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place delivering lasting pain relief. Well, in this game, brought to you by the Bank of Oklahoma, we go above so you can go beyond. We've seen quite a first half, Anna Bergel alongside me. And it really has gone the way of the Switchbacks FC.
Switchbacks in their midweek game able to come out early and score a couple of goals, and had the same mindset coming into this game here against FC Tulsa, and did just that. Zandy on the left side, FC Tulsa defensively not able to apply enough pressure, and then Henriquez with the finish did a great job to get his body up over the ball. Peñaranda trying to punch this one up and away, and the bounce up and over just enough to give the Switchbacks their first goal of this first half. And then it really just kept coming, the opportunities. Damas trying to get on the end of that one. On the opposite end, FC Tulsa didn't have as much opportunity 1v1. Pacheco was able to get around the corner, but that final ball has been lacking for FC Tulsa in this first half. And then again on the far end, Damas, great assist. Initially the pass in behind, Damas does the rest. Great first touch around Peñaranda, and then this is a tough angle, tucks this one in the far post. That gives the second goal of the first half for the Switchbacks. And then Lacroix turning on the Jets around the corner, and a clean finish. Curls that one into the far post. That gives us our scoreline, 3-0 the Switchbacks in the first half, and a lot of work for FC Tulsa to do here.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be up against Duke Lacroix in a 100-meter sprint, would you? That was some acceleration. There, Anna, is the story as well, told by the stats. Surprisingly, FC Tulsa have had more possession perhaps than you would have thought. Still 47% there. There's been a few fouls, but ultimately the quality up front for FC Tulsa has got to improve, and those stats they're proving.
I think what's key there, you mentioned the possession, but FC Tulsa hasn't had possession in the final third, and not only have they been lacking from that perspective, but no shots on target. That has to change in the second half if they want to find that first goal. Obviously a big mountain to climb, want to get a point, if at all, out of this game, have to score 3, but just have to take those steps. Coming into the second half, can they find the next goal? Because the Switchbacks on fire from an offensive standpoint in this first half, able to get the 3 goals, and they'll want to come out and continue to tally on more.
Now let's have a look at the team of the week, because there is good news if you're an FC Tulsa fan, because you can see that Alexis Sawahi's in there, Edwin Lasso is in there, but that man Nick Markanek is just on fire. Congratulations to him. Congratulations as well to Bob Lilly. We just mentioned him in the news and notes for being the coach of the week. We are about set fair here for the second half. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN Plus, Cox Shore View, Cox Channel 3 here locally, and also on Sirius XM for those of you listening in on the radio, as Segrist commits the first foul. And it's important that FC Tulsa can get on the board early here, Anna, and just set up a, quite frankly, a dramatic second half. We've seen it done in this wonderful game of football, but you just feel that, if the Switchbacks can just see this one professionally and get game management, as we often talk about, it's going to be hard for FC Tulsa, but can they make a dramatic fight of this in the second half?
And the Switchbacks as well, obviously coming off of the loss against New Mexico, and then midweek able to get the 3-1 win against Memphis, and then coming into this match wanted to continue some success on the road. They hadn't had as much of that in this season, so wanting to find some points away from home as they continue their hunt for potentially a home playoff game. The top 4 teams in the playoffs are able to achieve that, so the Switchbacks in a good position right now, but as you mentioned, Dave, will want to hold on to this clean sheet and will want to continue to build on the offensive performance in the first half.
FC Tulsa have made a substitution at half-time. Off goes Edwin Lasso, and on comes Sebastian Sanchez. Sanchez has only had a couple of starts this season. 293 total minutes. Here's Peñaranda, who's been beaten 3 times in that first half. Unusual for him. Here's Bouchoir, Segrist. Bouchoir again in the shadows, back to Peñaranda. Here's Bouchoir going forward up to Aaron Beboot, who had Pierre breathing down his neck, and Pierre committed a foul. Andrew Booth, Sawahi out now in the sunshine on the far side to Owen Darm. Darm to Boubacar Diallo, who will just about keep this one in. Might want to come back on that trusty left foot. Goes back to Darm. Darm loops the ball in. Pacheco's at the far post. Intelligent header back in field. Here's Beboot. Beboot now shot towards goal. It's just wide of the target. In the end, from Stojanovic, who wanted a corner but doesn't get it, and it will be a goal kick. But that was much better from the home side.
Bit more energy coming out in this second half for FC Tulsa's offense. We'll get a look here at the replay of that initial ball in by Owen Dom. Pacheco keeps it alive, and then Beboot trying to make something happen, turn back on frame. Stojanovic with the shot, pleading for a corner kick, but that one goes just wide. But FC Tulsa, that shot not on target, but better to get things going from an offensive perspective in the early goings of this second half.
The USL League One matchup kicks off September. Coverage on the CBS Sports Network. Players Shield holder Union Omaha visits newcomer Spokane Velocity FC in their first ever regular season clash, September the 4th at 9 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Plenty of games for you to watch, and we hope you're enjoying this one here. Whoever you support, whether you're a neutral tuning in, you're welcome here. Dave Saunders and Anna Berger with you here on the ESPN Plus and Cox Shore View, Cox Channel 3, and also welcome in to those of you listening at home or in the car on Sirius XM. As the ball goes through to Damas, could it be 4? Out comes Peñaranda, makes a save, and he had to beat his best because Damas there wanted his 12th goal of the season. Keeper did well.
He did. Poor turnover in the midfield for FC Tulsa, and you can see how quickly the transition in the attack that the Switchbacks can be. Damas trying to execute there, but Peñaranda did a great job anticipating and coming out, making that difficult.
It's unusual. I've been trying to put my finger on defensively what's going on, and you have a look at the back line for FC Tulsa, and they just seem to be caught square. I know they're getting dispossessed in the midfield, but Damas there just gets the other side of Bradley Bourgeois and Sawahi, and it's unusual for FC Tulsa. They've been very good defensively of late, but not so much in this game. Real dumps it into the box. There's a header from Damas, and it goes wide. Damas, who has played in Sweden, is also in those 11 goals, had 2 braces this season. Would dearly love to do that again, really put further daylight between the two teams. Loops that one up into the air. Underneath it, Andrew Booth, but there's a towering header from Pierre, who's going to get a yellow card here. And this is something of late, and I've been watching, as you do, football from around the world, and it does seem that referees are now clamping down a little bit more on those players coming through and heading. Pierre will say he had his eyes on the ball. Let's have a look.
And that's the key. You mentioned it. I remember as a player, that's what you wanted, and you saw eyes on the ball, not focused on the players around you, and if you win it, you outright win it. But now we are starting to see more of that, especially when there's a bit of contact with it. So Pierre getting the yellow card after that last play.
Siegrist into the box. It's Bibu with a shot. Good layoff from Stojanovic, and suddenly Stojanovic and Bibu are starting to link. And they've had 2 decent efforts early in this second half. Better from Mario Sanchez's men in the second half.
And I'd imagine, you know, you heard Mario Sanchez going in before halftime, very disappointed in the first half performance. The halftime talk, needing to almost just erase the first half, come out fresh in the second half, but just needing to take more shots. I'd imagine that was one of the messages. We can't score if we don't shoot. And FC Tulsa has come out and has at least been able to put together a few connections. B-Boot there with the strike, not on frame, but just putting themselves in a position to have those shots on goal. Herrera needing to be challenged more, and FC Tulsa just trying to get some more things going offensively. Definitely better than in the first half.
Confirmation that it was Delence Pierre getting the Pella yellow card. Stojanovic. Pierre's second yellow card of the season. Bradley Bourgeois short here to Andrew Booth. Booth wide to Siegrist, who has to go back to Bourgeois. There's the second half substitute, Sebastian Sanchez, in that deep midfield central role. Sawahi looks ahead of him. Darm slips it down the right hand side. Pierre's there with Boubacar Diallo, who just runs out of field, and it will be a throw in. And I think we'll see quite a lot of this. I call it game management. I think the Switchbacks, wherever they can, as is their want, at 3-0 up, will slow the game down.
FC Tulsa, obviously from the other end, will need to play with a sense of urgency, trying to build their way back into this game, but the Switchbacks in definitely not a hurry. Will want to keep possession and not allow FC Tulsa to find any sort of rhythm here in the second half. A lot of game left to be played, but we'll want to try to see this out and hold on to their clean sheet.
Yeah, a lot of games to be played still, of course, but this is vital. The Switchbacks will be finished tonight if they can hold on to their 3 points in 5th place. They would have played 26, have a +5 goal difference. Of course, let's not underestimate that. If it was to stay 3-0, puts them up to +5 on 38 points. And as well, Anna, they have a game in hand on Memphis, who sit just 1 point above them. And then if you want to throw in Oakland Roots are in third, they're only 2 points ahead. And how about this? Sacramento on 41 in second would only be 3 points ahead of Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. So this is a big night for the visitors.
We alluded to that at the halftime show, but that's what's made it so fun throughout the season to watch the Western Conference and really the Eastern Conference as well, because from a points perspective, it's still very tight. So each weekend is so crucial. Every point matters, and a lot of these teams are very much still in the hunt for playoffs, very much still in the hunt for the top 4 for the home playoff spot. And so you mentioned how important this game is tonight for the Switchbacks. Throughout the USL Championship, each game just continues to build and get more important. And we've heard coaches say these obviously aren't playoff games, but you kind of come into them treating them like that because you want to put yourselves in a position where you can solidify those spots.
Owen Dahm coming down that right-hand side. There's a head injury here which will have to be attended to for Matthew Real. Real will get some treatment here. Spent 7 seasons with the Philadelphia Union. Just coming back to the table, and of course FC Tulsa will finish the weekend, whatever the score tonight. They'll finish. I should say if they lose this game, will finish in 8th place. If they could get a point from this, they would go above Phoenix Rising, who are in 7th. And how about this? The next game for FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising is against each other on Friday night on ESPN2. So that's one that will be an interesting one as well. There's the head injury again. I don't think there's any malicious intent there from Boubacar Diallo. So really important games coming up. FC Tulsa then got on Wednesday, September the 11th, they have Las Vegas Lights here, who are in 6th place, another 6-pointer, and then they go to Lou City have Lou City at home, and then Rhode Island and Oakland Roots. And I was talking to Mario Sanchez this week, as you know, and he said every game from now until the end of the season, really you have to treat it like a playoff game.
And this is about that point in the season where we start to say these are must-win games. And it's hard because you don't want to say that, because obviously the season will still go on and a lot can change and so much can happen in these last few games. So it's not really a must-win. But these teams coming into these games with how tight they are, and you've talked about the importance of some of these upcoming matchups, they feel that way, and in some ways they are, because you don't want to look back on your season and think, oh man, we dropped a point there, we should have won. Oh, we dropped a point there that we could have gotten, and that's what you're trying to avoid here. So coming in to these games with that mindset, just trying to put yourself, again, just where you can solidify those spots, put yourself in a position heading into playoffs with momentum as well, because you want to be in a stride, you want to be playing with confidence at that time.
As the world demands low-cost, low-carbon energy, Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. Enriquez, who started it all off with the goal scoring in the 2nd minute, just loses control of the football here. But the Switchbacks have a real hold on this game at the moment. Here's Sawahi trying to bring the ball out of the back line, but he's chipped it down that right-hand side and just not quite the quality. FC Tulsa's bench, Michael Creek, the goalkeeping sub. You got Milo Yosef, Blaine Ferry, Faisal Batch, Alex Delou and Rashid Tete, who is a centre back. So you would have thought the likes of Batch and Delou and Ferry might be the next move. Milo Yosef could come in down that right-hand side and be a little bit more attacking. FC Tulsa in some ways have to really go for it now, don't they?
Well, especially when you're in this position. At this point, you're down 3 goals. Obviously, from a goal differential, you don't want to give up more, but what's for? You want to get more numbers forward, and you'll leave yourself a bit exposed at the back, and we've seen that when teams are in this position. And if you're FC Tulsa, I'd imagine they'll want to continue putting numbers forward. You mentioned Blaine Ferry on the bench as well, someone that can come in and help retain possession for FC Tulsa as the Switchbacks here finding some success on the wing.
Yep. Into the box they go and out again, because Seagrass just got something on that one. Now Enriquez blasts that one in, but Peñarada was stood firm at his near post. Here's Andrew Booth now. Pacheco is ahead of him. But in steps Duke Lacroix, who's already scored a goal, but here's Pacheco now, trying to go into the box. Pierre away with his left foot, now Mahoney with some time and space to slow things down. And there's a player down, Duke Lacroix is down, and the referee will have to wave on the physio again. Well, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. And we should say welcome in to all of those of you that are listening in on Sirius XM here at One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa. It is currently FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 3. The goals all in the first half, all started off in the second minute when Enriquez put the away side 1-0 up. Then Damas with the second on 37, and then in stoppage time, right back Duke Lacroix sprinting down the right-hand side. Made it 3-0. Let's have a look now at how those goals went in with my broadcast partner, Annabelle.
Obviously, the Switchbacks wanting to come in on the front foot, get things going early, and they did just that. Enriquez with a strong finish, able to get that in the first few minutes, and then a great pass in behind. Damas does the rest. Good touch around Peñaranda and sneaks that one into the far post. That was the second one. And then just continuing to build. And Lacroix, the pace on this right side, the composure, picks his head up, tries to see if there's a player to pass, and then says, why not me? Excellent finish. There's a look at the 3 goals and how the Switchbacks have gotten to this point, and defensively from FC Tulsa have had a poor performance, but have to credit the Switchbacks, the quality from an offensive perspective. They've really done an outstanding job.
Faisal Batch has come into the fray, replacing Stefan Stojanovic. Batch, who was born in Westminster there in London, did start the game against San Antonio, the 3-1 victory. Had a total of 11 years of youth and first team at Queen's Park Rangers in West London, nearly 30 appearances for St. Louis second team. Came from Tacoma Defiance in the MLS Pro. Big moment for him. Can he change things around? He's a very attacking midfield player, wearing 77. Mr. Garcia is going to show a yellow card here for Andrew Booth, a Pella yellow card. Andrew Booth, who has accumulated 6 yellow cards. The foul was on Zach Zandy. There's Andrew Booth. Let's see if this is worthy of a yellow card, Anna.
It's been a physical game tonight, but nothing super malicious, but that's a high kick. Referee just saying that could potentially be dangerous play. You didn't see the studs up, but you definitely have a chance at a yellow with your cleats up that high.
Again, I wouldn't say it's malicious. I think he just turned and went for the ball, but the referee, Mr. Garcia, is experienced and shows that Pele yellow card to that man in frame there, Andrew Booth. 63rd minute here, still the Switchbacks in control with those 3 first half goals. A long way back for FC Tulsa. And the Switchbacks, you have to say, have managed the first part of this second half very, very well. Damas goes down under pressure from Alexi Sawahi. A couple of substitutions for the Switchbacks I can tell you about. One, Tejada has come on, and as has the man we highlighted in the open, Jonas Fjellberg, who's come on the left-hand side. So a couple of substitutions to freshen things up. Here's a low line drive towards that left-hand side, but it's headed back very skillfully by Duke Lacroix. Game just in a bit of a lull at the moment as FC Tulsa try to get things going in the attacking sense. Of course, the Switchbacks would dearly love a fourth. Ball's going to run away harmlessly for a goal kick. The sunshine is now gone. Pleasant playing conditions. Peñaranda with the goal kick will hit this one forward. No changes at the back for the Switchbacks. Kept the same back four. Damas, who's lively and strong, up there leading the line. Lacroix, who got his first of the season, the third for his team in injury time in the end of the first half. Here's Damas wide on that right-hand side. Steps in field, Pacheco tackles, Pacheco concedes the free kick. Dangerous area here, Anna Bogle, for the Switchbacks to get the ball into the box.
It is, and this is where what you don't want to see from an FC Tulsa standpoint is just giving up fouls like this just out of frustration. There's no need there. You have two defenders in front. Giving up a dead ball like this in a dangerous area, definitely not something you want to do at this point in the game, and it just continues to break up play, which is what the Switchbacks want to do. They don't want FC Tulsa to get a rhythm. They don't want to be in there attacking third. This playing into the Switchbacks as they'll go short here.
Yeah, Speedy Williams. Rocha takes over. Rocha can hit one, but it was always rising, and that's going to trouble the families on the grassy bank rather than Peñaranda. And it remains 3-0. 66 minutes have ticked by here at One Oak Field. FC Tulsa started the season with a 3-3 thriller, then they went down by 4-1 here at One Oak Field to a very impressive Charleston Battery side. Battled back to a 2-2 draw with Pittsburgh Riverhounds and then lost at home to Oakland Roots. That before there were two successful consecutive home wins, both by 2-1 against San Antonio Miami FC and also a 0-0 at home to Sacramento Republic. Since then, a Memphis 1-0 win here and 0-0 with both Indy 11 and Orange County mean that FC Tulsa are trying to go 7 games unbeaten here at One Oak Field, but at the moment it's going the way of the Switchbacks, who lead by 3-0. Peñaranda, hurried clearance. Pierre, cushioned header down to Speedy Williams inside the centre circle. Lays it out here to Duke Lacroix. Tejada has come on. He hits Segrist in the back. It's going to run away for a throw-in. Bill Knight Ford is a proud sponsor of FC Tulsa. Bill Knight Ford is Oklahoma's #1 Ford dealer for 15 years running. Stop by today and get your hands on your new Ford today. Bill Knight, home of the Knight Advantage. Boubacar Diallo stops that attack. Fjellberg's in there. Rocha. Real. That one comes off the other number 6, Boubacar Diallo. It's going to be a throw-in for Real.
Defensively for FC Tulsa too, in the past few games we've seen them do a much better job of building out of the back, finding that first pass to keep possession. And there have been a few instances throughout this match where you have that initial clearance and they're not picking their head up, they're not finding feet, and ultimately they're just having to defend again, and that's something that's made it difficult for them to find a rhythm in transition, a rhythm going forward, and the Switchbacks have done a good job of continuing to apply that pressure and make it tough for them to get out of the back. And another corner kick opportunity upcoming here.
Yep, the Katrina Freshmax corner kick to be taken by Aiden Rocha, who puts his arms out wide. He did that in the first half. Here's the ball into the near post. It's flicked on and in. And it's Matt Mahoney, I think. No, excuse me, it's Matthew Real who got the flick on. It was a beautiful corner in from that left-hand side from Rocha. What a delivery, what a header. Daylight between the two teams. 69 minutes gone here. FC Tulsa 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 4.
The Switchbacks continuing to apply the pressure, as we've mentioned, to this FC Tulsa defense that has just not able to find a response. Great corner kick in. You see it's the front post run from Real. The power generated off of the initial corner is enough. He just has to redirect it back on frame into that far post. Peñaranda doesn't even have the time to respond there, standing still. And the Switchbacks finding their 4th goal of the evening. And FC Tulsa now, from a mental perspective, will have to continue to fight in this game. It's tough when you're down 4-0. 20 minutes or so left. There's a couple of substitutions here, and it looks like Milo Yosef will come on to the fray for FC Tulsa. Try to change things up here.
Yeah, Milo Yosef will play an attacking role down that right-hand side. What I can tell you is that both Duke Lacroix at right back and Matthew Real, the left back, have both scored their opening goals of the season. FC Tulsa have brought on Alex Deleu, so it's Yosef and Deleu. Yosef will play more as a right back. Deleu's a little bit more attacking. Mahoney goes back, but it was an offside flag. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Well, Real scored the goal. He's got a yellow card, so he's had a good night. He comes off. And Koa Santos and Justin Dillon coming on now. Dillon is a handful, I can tell you, up front. Koa Santos will come on at right back. Lacroix's gone across to the left-hand side. There's Fjellberg, who got a brace, the Norwegian. But that one goes wide. FC Tulsa, the last time they conceded more than 3 goals was in the 5-0 defeat on May the 18th at Tampa Bay Rowdies. They have conceded 4 at home here on April the 20th against Charleston Battery. Long way back for them now as Dillon gets involved with Bourgeois. Here's Booth to Pacheco. Pacheco is onside, taking on Santos. Missed kick from Pacheco. And Santos comes away with that bit of defending. Maggie has come on as well, the number 7. Mahoney. Speedy Williams. Maggie. Ball into the box from Santos. It's a good one. Headed away by Milo Yosef. Fjellberg gets a header, so does Sawahi. Lacroix, who as said has gone across to left back now. Here's Alex Deleu. Batch. Long ball from Batch, trying to seek out Bibut, who looks a lone figure up there for FC Tulsa with Mahoney. Bibut can't find Batch or Deleu. He's worked hard, the young 19-year-old, but it's been very difficult against the likes of Mahoney and Pierre, hasn't it, Anna?
It has. The Switchbacks have defended very well, and here in transition with some space ahead.
Aiden Rocha going for 5. Rocha left-footed, and thankfully from an FC Tulsa point of view, I think he just slipped at the vital moment there. Goal kick. 4-0. We're in the 74th minute. This game being brought to you by Bank of Oklahoma. We go above, so you can go beyond. Sanchez cushioned down for Milo Yosef. Bradley Bourgeois has given the ball away to Matt Dillon. You don't want to do that. To Deja. Fjellberg trying to play the ball into the box, tidied up. Batch again trying to pick out Pacheco. Pacheco chest down, up against Santos. Good ball into the box. It's just going past B-Boot, but that was a very good ball in from Pacheco. But B-Boot, it was just ahead of him.
I like the idea from Pacheco. Seeing the run, far post, B-Boot, to his credit, trying to stay with the play and stay with the run. Good ball out initially from Batch, and then the first touch from Pacheco, allowing himself to keep his momentum going forward. But a bit too far in front, and that ball ends up rolling out as it looks like we may have another hydration break here. As a reminder, it's been very, very hot in Tulsa, upper 90s. And FC Tulsa will have an opportunity here to kind of reset head coach Mario Sanchez.
Yeah, just a chance to reset, but it's really difficult, isn't it, to see where FC Tulsa are going to come back here, Anna. Good news is that FC Tulsa are doing wonderful things off the field, and they've linked up with a project that you might be able to tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, that is one thing that FC Tulsa really tries to do, is they continue to just ingrain themselves in the local community. And starting today through the month of September, Tacos for Life will donate 10 meals per save for FC Tulsa. So kind of a neat initiative that they've done, just to try to help out the local community and continue to find ways to make a difference. And that's something that, you know, head coach Mario Sanchez has mentioned that he wants to instill in his team on and off the field, and the FC Tulsa front office administration has done a great job finding these connections with local communities to find ways to give back.
Back to the field, and it's 4-0 to the Switchbacks with 14 minutes to go. Switchbacks continuing their wonderful form. They'll be going back home next week against Tampa Bay Rowdies, and then a week later home to Charleston Battery. Then they go to bottom club El Paso Locomotive FC before another home game with Loudoun United to finish off the month of September. This is one of 5 September games for them. Could really put themselves in the top 4 by the end of the month. That's away by Pierre, who's had a very good game for me. Only his 10th start of the season, a 23-year-old. Patrick Segrist. Bibu. Well, that's ambitious, but I'll tell you what, he's got some confidence, that young man. He chested down, he was on the corner of the box, and he wasn't afraid to swivel 180 and whack a shot towards goal. Not really a save for Christian Herrera to make, but shows the confidence of the young man, Anna.
Yeah, you can tell that B-Boot always has his eye for goal, always aware where the goal is. He's had a few chances like that where he's just had a quick release, see if something will come of it. Hasn't been able to connect, but definitely a bright spot for this FC Tulsa offense.
Maggie got dispossessed there. Here's Batch up to the aforementioned B-Boot. Does well to hold off 3 defenders. Good play from him. It's been a bright light in this disappointing night so far for FC Tulsa. Still time, and that one's overhit by Milo Yosef. You start to think of positives, you know, when you've obviously there are many positives for the Switchbacks. I mean, impressive that 2 of your back 4 can get goals. I think Damas has been outstanding tonight. Justin Dillon has come onto the field, and you know, just 2 quality strikers there. Throw in Fjellberg there. There are really many positives for them to take out, and don't forget their away form has not been the best, and this would only be their 3rd away win of the season. Here's Delu. Bibu lays it off well. The referee is going to stop the game for an injury, I think, to Tejada. There's Sebastian Sanchez, who was the first substitute coming on at the beginning of the second half. But if you're FC Tulsa, Anna, you're looking for positives, and I think you go to B-Boot.
B-Boot's definitely, brought some energy to the offense. He's had a couple of shots on goal, trying to make something happen, but just been really tough for him. Credit the Switchbacks. They've done a great job defensively, and FC Tulsa obviously just hasn't been able to get things going. And I think what's going to be important for this FC Tulsa team, clearly want to finish out this game strong and continue to fight, try to get one back, and just the effort and leadership from this team. It's tough to be down 4-0, but want to continue to see them fight. That could be a positive takeaway, at least for Mario Sanchez, if they can finish this game strong. But then heading into their next game against Phoenix Rising, when you have a season this long, you always have highs, you always have lows, you face the adversity, but FC Tulsa, poised to make the playoffs. We've seen them kind of claw their way back into the mix. And this is where you don't want to let a game like this, a poor performance, completely turn the trajectory of your season. You want to have that maturity, come out in the next game, erase this, show up to the Phoenix Rising game, and try to put yourself back on the right track. And I think that's going to be a real testament to this FC Tulsa team. If they can show that maturity, that can be a positive bright spot, because you're going to face adversity throughout these long seasons. Every team has dealt with it. The Switchbacks obviously not having a strong start to their season and then going on a 9-game tear, and look where they are now. So if FC Tulsa can really stay focused coming out of this game, I think that would definitely be just a mental takeaway.
It's the voice of Anna Bergel there. Joining yours truly, Dave Saunders. Thanks for your company here on ESPN Plus, Cox Your View, Cox Channel 3, and for tonight, Sirius XM. Glad to have your company here in downtown Tulsa, as FC Tulsa looking to come from 4 goals behind. Batch into the air. This is going to land to Bibu! That would have been a spectacular goal, and it's just around about a yard wide. It was the perfect ball in from Faisal Batch, and that man, Bibu, only 19 years old. Wow. Let's have a look at this one, Anna.
Like to see how close this was, but this is a tough technique to do. Bibu, you see him tracking that ball all the way in, the ball in from Batch, floats in, and Bibu maybe a foot or so wide, but got all of it, generated plenty of power, great technique, just couldn't put that on frame. But those are the little sparks that we've seen from him, that this FC Tulsa team will be encouraged as they head into these next few games, having him up top to try to create moments like that.
Mahoney to Speedy Williams. Mahoney. Maggi. Out wide now. Duke Lacroix, who scored the 3rd goal. Pierre goes back to the goalkeeper Christian Herrera, who I think had a little wry smile when he saw that B-boot volley go wide, because there was nothing he could do. It's one of those where the goalkeeper, you just have to look back and hope it hits the post or goes wide, and it did indeed do that. Here's Lacroix again into the box. Fjellberg, handball inadvertently. Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field. Osage Casino Hotel, Tulsa. Pella yellow card shown, I think, to the Norwegian Jonas Fjellberg. A little bit of dissent. Dylan is back there. There's an offside flag gone up. 7 minutes left. And you're right, Anna, looking forward, you have to in this game when you've been well beaten. And we think FC Tulsa, barring a miracle, will be beaten tonight. You just have to keep looking forward. And for them, you know, they've only got to wait to the end of the week, Friday to be precise, 11 Eastern on ESPN2 against Phoenix Rising. Won't be easy to go there and get a result, and both teams battling for a playoff place, of course.
No, it won't. And as a player in that position, after you come away from...
Here's Maggi. Blocked. Maggi again, wearing 7, tricky player. just runs into a little bit of trouble there. Andrew Booth gets a 1-2 going with Faisal Batch. Fjellberg, Magi, Aidan Rocher, who's an uncomplicated midfield player, has performed very, very well as a blue-collar worker. Here he is again on the ball. Haven't seen him give the ball away tonight. And they can easily pick out Duke Lacroix, the 30-year-old, goes in field again. Patient build up here. FC Tulsa having to do all the chasing. Here's Speedy Williams wearing 80, wide on the right. Segrist does well to intercept that pass. Belts it up the left-hand side, but quickly in was Matt Mahoney, who says, I'm going to go forward now. You stay there, Rocher, and cover me. FC Tulsa ran out, just finding it difficult to get hold of the ball. It's a ball over the top for Fjellberg. Keeps it in. Tadeja for 5. Good save, Peñaranda. And now Alex DeLu treads on the ball. Good save from Peñaranda, who will be disappointed that he's conceded 4 goals. They've been quality goals tonight, but he'll be pleased to have made that save.
Yeah, Fjellberg did well there to get around the corner. Tejeda found himself squared up in front of goal, but Peñaranda, we've seen him do really well in that position, but here...
Fjellberg with a shot that's just wide of the target. Let's just have a look at that last save, as we're going to see an FC Tulsa substitution as well.
I think Tejeda, with that first touch, took a bit too long to release that. Peñaranda, a keeper of his caliber, came out quickly, did a great job to make himself big, as we'll see Blaine Ferry come on for FC Tulsa. He does a great job at retaining possession. We rarely see him lose the ball. We'll try to give FC Tulsa some more chances here late.
DeLu. Man to leave the field is Pacheco, who's worked hard, hasn't quite had the space, although he did deliver a couple of balls in behind the defence. There's a clip ball over the up, looking for Andrew Booth, easy catch for Christian Herrera, who we said has already had 7 clean sheets, looking for his 8th. Tulsa Spine and Rehab is a team of specialists in one place, delivering lasting pain relief. Well, we've been telling you all evening about the USL Championship, this league that goes from strength to strength, and you can watch the USL Championship on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. We thank you for joining us here on ESPN Plus, where it's been a dominant performance from the Switchbacks here. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC have come into town. They have had the lion's share of wins in this is the 12th meeting. This would be their 8th win, 1 draw. And as we said, FC Tulsa, the last time they beat the Switchbacks was back in October of 2020. Segrist coming forward from left back, does well, tucks it in here to Blaine Ferry. Ferry here to Faisal Batch. His first touch wasn't the best. Speedy Williams gets in there. DeLu gets a foot on it. Tadeja will get it back to the goalkeeper, Herrera. And the 27-year-old clears to the head of Matt Dillon, who heads it on nicely to Muggy. Muggy inside the box here. Could it be 5? Here's Fjellberg. Fjellberg onto his right foot, scoops it over the bar, and it stays at 4-0 to the Switchbacks.
Saw the frustration after from Fjellberg there. Coming into the midweek game against Memphis, one of his keys just for his personal game was he does such a great job getting in those positions to score, but just finding a way to be clinical and take advantage. And he did that last game, scored a brace. Here he's had a few chances, but this one skies up over the bar by his own standards. Wanted to do better there.
Peñaranda with the goal kick. We've got a minute and a half left. This is one of those, Anna, when you're 4-0 down, you don't want a big number on on the clock. You feel the game's gone. You've got to get your head ready for the next one. You just really want to shake hands and get off the field and say well played to the opposition.
Yeah, as a player in games like this, you just want to get to that next game quickly, try to erase it. Obviously, from Mario Sanchez down to every player that has contributed to this game will be disappointed in the performance. But the only way to fix it is to focus on the next game at hand and try to continue on in their hunt.
Deleu, Biboot up against Lacroix, goes infield here to Faisal Batch. Here's Deleu, back heel from Deleu, cleared away well by Santos. FC Tulsa have a throw, and he's very cheerful, he's very positive, is Coach Sanchez, and he won't be down for too long. Here's Biboot here trying to get a consolation. It's going to come to Siegrist! Off the line, Siegrist again! Story of the night for FC Tulsa as he puts it over the bar from 10 yards. Good defending. Mahoney will not let FC Tulsa have a goal here, Anna. You just feel FC Tulsa's best chance of the night has gone.
FC Tulsa has done a better job connecting. Biboot did a great job here to try to find that late run. Great defending off the line from the Switchbacks. Ball pops back out for a second go at it. And FC Tulsa, I think you said it, Dave, that just defines the night for FC Tulsa. Have to finish from there. Open goal. That one soars up over the bar.
I guess the only thing you could say is that it would only have been a consolation. It's not going to win the match for FC Tulsa. Siegrist has found the net this season. He scored that important equaliser in Sacramento in that 1-1 draw where FC Tulsa played 75 minutes with 10 men. Maggie runs into trouble. Biboot, who will not stop working, wide on that right-hand side. Deleu makes the run. Biboot's just tried to thread that one into Andrew Booth, cut out by Mahoney. He's had a very good game at the heart of the defence. Here he is on the ball now. Fjellberg, who scored that brace in the 3-1 home win to Memphis. So 2 wins on the bounce now for James Chambers and his men. Bourgeois heads away. Santos is there, goes over and through the back of Sebastian Sanchez. Siegrist takes the free kick quickly, Biboot, but that's going to go all the way through to the keeper. Biboot will have to watch that ball go out for a goal kick. He puts his thumb up there to Patrick Siegrist, and we're playing the 3 minutes of Tulsa Tech stoppage time, and the game just petering out here. Good game management from Switchbacks FC. You've added to their tally in this second half, Anna, but they've managed the game very, very well.
They have, and a good defensive performance as well. They had the goal line save in that last sequence. Saw the reaction from Herrera with his defenders as they're trying to hold on to this clean sheet in a full professional win that they've come here to One Oak Field. Haven't had as much success on the road this season, but have shown well here tonight.
Yosef down in the corner there, tackling Lacroix. Fjellberg. Sebastian Sanchez. Bradley Bourgeois. Just 30 seconds left of the Tulsa Tech stoppage time. Biboot. Is there a consolation for FC Tulsa? Siegrist has perhaps come the closest for FC Tulsa tonight. Pierre away. Booth will drive one towards goal, takes a deflection and does go in. And Mahoney is annoyed. But FC Tulsa at last have a goal. It's a consolation. It's deep into stoppage time. It is FC Tulsa 1, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 4.
Great reaction from the crowd here at One Oak Field, who have stuck with this FC Tulsa team in a tough game tonight. And Booth able to get one back here late. An electric strike, gets a bit of luck here on the deflection from Mahoney. Great first touch, and then just enough to put that one back on frame and past Herrera. And FC Tulsa able to deny the clean sheet for the Switchbacks, but Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC will ultimately go on here and claim all 3 points.
Yeah, and they'll probably finish the night, they will, in fact, we can confirm, in 5th place. FC Tulsa will finish the night in 6th. One of those, as we've been saying in commentary, as the coaches shake hands, you just dust yourself off, get ready for the next one, and well played to the Switchbacks FC, who can enjoy finishing in 5th place and really pushing, as we said, as far as 2nd place tonight.
Yeah, FC Tulsa will want to forget this quickly, look ahead towards their next game against Phoenix Rising, as they continue to kind of sit on the bubble in 8th now. Remember, those top 8 teams go into the playoffs, but FC Tulsa wanting to control their destiny heading into the back portion of this USL Championship, so they'll have to do everything they can to focus on the next points available against Phoenix.
Well, we'll take a break now. Don't go away. We'll wrap this one up. Well done to the Switchbacks. It's finished here. FC Tulsa 1, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 4.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool. Grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
The experience to adapt, learn, and grow defines Williams. We've delivered natural gas to power change for over a century. Now we're investing in next-gen technologies to move toward a low-carbon future. We can reduce emissions and meet rising energy demands, because experience powers us.
Welcome back into One Up Field for the last time tonight. As you can see there, the final score, the Switchbacks win it by 4-1. Let's roll the highlights and see how it all unfolded tonight.
You can tell by the scoreline it was all Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. From an offensive perspective, they started things off really early in the first few minutes. Zandy on that left side getting around the corner, and then Enriquez able to finish, and then they continued with the offensive success here. Damas, first touch around Peñaranda, does really well here to put this one back on frame. Tough angle, tucks this one just inside the far post, and then it continued. Lacroix with the pace on the right side, looked up, see if he had any help, and then says, I'll just do it myself. Great finish, curled into that top corner. That's the 3rd goal for the Switchbacks. And then continuing on the corner kick, Real, defender, able to get on the end of that one with the header. And FC Tulsa continuing to fight late into this game, and Andrew Booth finding his first goal for FC Tulsa. Gets a good first touch, lets this one go. A helpful deflection from Mahoney, and FC Tulsa with a consolation goal at the end, but the scoreline ending 4-1 in favor of the Switchbacks.
Yeah, Andrew Booth's first goal for FC Tulsa, an FC Tulsa shirt this season. The shots on target again didn't improve too much for FC Tulsa. They were slightly better, Anna, but again, I would say that graphic there shows the story of the game.
Yeah, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, 17 shots, 6 of those on target, but they were so efficient in front of goal. Out-possessed FC Tulsa more in the first half, not as much in the second half. Credit FC Tulsa, they tried to fight their way back. They continued to try to find that next goal, and it didn't come until very, very late in the game with Andrew Booth. 13 fouls for FC Tulsa, 9 for the Switchbacks. It was a physical game, nothing malicious, but FC Tulsa will have to pick themselves back up, focus on their next game against Phoenix Rising. Congratulations to Colorado Springs. Switchbacks FC currently sitting in 5th in the Western Conference, as they're on the outside looking in to host a home playoff game, but definitely on the right track.
Good segue into looking at where FC Tulsa go next. Anna's already told you the answer is Phoenix on Friday, and then 10 days time from now, and then 3 days after that, 2 home games against Las Vegas Lights. Las Vegas Lights, who've been bumped down into 6th place by the Switchbacks tonight. New City, never easy in a cross-conference game, as will be the trip to Rhode Island and then a trip to Oakland Roots. What about Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC as they push, as Anna said, for that top 4. Well, they've got home games against Tampa Bay Rowdies and Charleston Battery. Then they go to bottom club El Paso Locomotive, another home game against Loudoun. And then into October, they are at Orange County SC. Anna Burgle, we've looked at upcoming schedules again. Have you been impressed with the Switchbacks tonight?
They came in really strong performance. Obviously not pleased with the loss they had against New Mexico. Came back strong midweek, able to get the 3-1 win against Memphis, and then quality win on the road here against FC Tulsa with authority. A professional finish, 4-1 as they continue in their quest for the playoffs. And FC Tulsa, not the result they wanted, but have faced adversity before and will have to have a quick memory and look ahead towards next game.
Anna Burgle, thank you so much for your company tonight. Thank you so much to our wonderful production crew who provide the sounds and the shots for you tonight. It's been all Switchbacks tonight as they look to go up the league with this impressive win. It started with 3 goals in the first half. There was 1 in the second half. FC Tulsa get a consolation right on the final whistle. We'll see you next time on the 11th here at One Oak Field. It finished FC Tulsa 1, Colorado Springs Switchback 4.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
By Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists. Original port debut, a very important signing. Coach Mario Sanchez. There he is. FC was made permanent.
Obviously pleased with the
by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists. Original port debut, a very important signing. Coach Mario Sanchez. There he is. By Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists. Original port debut, a very important signing. Coach Mario Sanchez. There he is. FC was made permanent.
Obviously pleased with the performance, but wanting to come in aggressive, wanting to stay disciplined.
There's the ball into the bottom, real chance here, and it's been looped into the goal. It's a goal early here for Jairo Enriquez.
Obviously pleased with the performance, but wanting to come in aggressive, wanting to stay disciplined.
There's the ball into the bottom, real chance here, and it's been looped into the goal. It's a goal early here for Jairo Enriquez. Peñaranda got a hand on it, and Jairo...
Obviously pleased with the performance, but wanting to come in aggressive, wanting to stay disciplined.
There's the ball into the bottom, real...